the way you folks handle, customer care, it's like more or less like setting gold standard for the rest of the industry. Post acquisition, how would you define the culture within Akamai, which is kind of more driven once again, taking the DNA of to also focus more on listening to customers, solving the problem, real person versus just a ticket number versus cattle versus pet. I think I used to joke that for customers are not cattle; they are like pets. You really care about them. Hi, this is your host Swapnil Bharti and welcome to TFR Newsroom. And today we have with us once again Cassie Bubnis, Senior Director of Customer Support at Akamai. Cassie, it's great to have you back on the show.
Very good to be here. Thank you for having me.
This has kind of become an yearly event where we talk to someone at Akamai to talk about the Stevie Awards. This year again, you folks, your teams got in 3 different categories. So we will talk about all those things. But before that, I would quickly ask you, how would you define what is Stevie Awards and what is their importance in the industry as they set some kind of benchmark, or people can look at them and say, what, these are the companies who are doing better in these categories?
Great question. So I think that the Stevie Awards, there's a couple different types of Stevie Awards. The ones that we enter into are for sales and customer service. And really it's just recognizing companies and teams around the world that are, kind of pursuing offering world-class support and service for their customer bases and the products and programs and anything that they're trying to sell. And I think that for the ones that we enter, the sales and customer service, it's an opportunity for us to show what our teams are doing, the great things that they're implementing, the initiatives that they're creating, and the great work that customers are kind of benefiting from. So I think that, a Stevie Award is really just a great recognition by the industry for the great work that teams are doing.
What are the categories that Akamai won in this year?
We took home 3 awards this year. The Compute Customer Support Team, which is the team that I represent and oversee. We took home the Sales and Customer Service, so Best Customer Service Department of the Year, which is, we've been vying for that award for 6 years now, and it's our first year winning gold, which feels really great. Our Compute Customer Success team won for Best Feedback Strategy. We also won bronze for our Trust and Safety team. They got Best Use of Technology and Customer Service. Our Compute Trust and Safety team mission is to protect, preserve, and elevate Akamai's platform integrity and reputation. And their submission for this award, since the beginning of July 2022, the team has created automated solutions that quickly identify and mitigate abuse as soon as it occurs, which is incredible. And it's something that is always top of mind for us, especially in a compute business. And the homegrown mitigation systems that they implemented, so things like improvements in identifying and rejecting fraudulent actors at the front door, stopping attacks as they occur, such as spam and DDoS attacks, automatic response and mitigation to valid third-party abuse reports, and preventative measures to halt bot attacks. And the results of this, which I think was seen by the judges who were looking at the Stevie Awards, is this resulted in about 6,000 fewer abuse cases, which is, it might not seem like a lot, but that is a lot when you consider the amount of abuse that our platform experiences. And any volume decrease is a huge boon to us being able to focus on other initiatives that are not so reactive but are proactive. And of course, lower manual effort for the entire team, which is, it resulted in like a few thousand less hours that were needed to actually focus on these things again, and kind of focus more on customer support and how do we, create things that are going to support customers in a better way without having to react to them in the moment. So again, a really great win for that team.
Can you talk about the other 2 categories, and once again, what you see makes you a leader in these categories in the space?
For the Compute customer success team, for winning best feedback strategy as a silver award winner, their mission is to really align the Akamai Compute part of the business goals with customer goals. They proactively engage with customers to build strong collaborative relationships, and they really enable kind of the customer journey that we've come to be known for in the industry. And so I think that this award really recognizes them for the work that they did through 2021 through 2023. They led a cross-functional effort to work with my team, the Compute support team, sales, development, program and product management, all in effort to streamline the customer feedback initiative. So from end to end, the submission, the prioritization, planning, and loop closing process for all customer feedback. And improving this, it led to more quality feedback, it being submitted, less time for product management to determine what is important to customers, and then more solutions that were shipped to enable customers, solve their problems, and set them up for success.
If you look at the customer service department, what you folks do which is different or unique, not only from the perspective of course this award, but also for customer experience, where it's not just the award but you yourself feel proud of the practices at Akamai?
So for us to win this award, I think that it really just showcases our commitment to our customers. We at Akamai and at the company, but in the support and service and success kind of teams, we really evangelize our core values. Everything that we do is in service of the customer, advocating for them, making sure that their needs are met, making sure that we're handling things properly, quickly, and to the best of our ability. And I think that internally as well, this type of award showcases that commitment to the customers, but also to one another, team members. We take care of ourselves and our team and make sure that we're looking out for one another. We really focus on, growth and development, diversity and inclusion. And I think that as an entire department, to win this award really recognizes every aspect that goes into this type of team and the work that they do.
Before Akamai acquisition, I of course used to talk to Linode, and the way you folks handle customer care, it's like more or less like setting gold standard for the rest of the industry. Post acquisition, how would you define the culture within Akamai, which is kind of more driven, once again, taking the DNA of Linode, also focus more on listening to customers, solving the problem, real person versus, just a ticket number versus, cattle versus pet. I think I used to joke that for Linode, customers are not cattle. They are like pets. You really care about them.
Yes, 100%. And I think, it might surprise people to hear that that culture exists at Akamai just the same as it did Linode. I think that the reason why Akamai wanted to kind of explore what Linode had to offer to their brand and their product line as a compute strategy and platform was they really care about customers just the same that we did before. And if anything, I think, with more resources and kind of the ability to grow and scale the things that we were doing really great at Linode to kind of a bigger and more global customer base with kind of more power behind it, it's really enabled us to provide even stronger support and solutions. And I know that we have heard from customers that, they're kind of waiting for some more bigger initiatives. And I think that, they'll be pleasantly surprised in the next year or two with kind of the things that we're working on and the initiatives that we're trying to implement to make their lives and their businesses and everything that they do better.
What are the things that your teams are working on to further improve the customer experience?
So for my team specifically, the things that we're thinking about are, what do our customers need from us that we haven't necessarily had the scale or ability to offer before? So things like service level agreements? Are there things that we can provide to them to get to their issues more quickly? Are there entitlements that they can have? So different support packages that they could opt into to get different types of support that might have maybe more technical ability or kind of someone more closely aligned with the needs of their business and what's going on. So that's kind of also where customer success comes in, and then our operational teams like trust and safety, our training team, our community team, all these teams that are aimed at trying to get at every aspect of the customer journey. I think that we're really just trying to say, how can we improve our product, the support product, in addition to all of the products that might be coming down the pipeline from a compute and technical standpoint.
Excellent, thank you. And as a winner of Stevie Award in 3 different categories, what is your advice to other companies, other teams? What kind of processes, practices, cultures they should build internally?
I think it's really a matter of know who you are and what you're bringing to the business and this industry, and kind of celebrate, not just the big wins, but the small wins. I think that through our history of being a support team and kind of trying to get our name out there, make sure that we are an industry leading kind of point to get to, that people can say, like, Akamai's compute support is really stellar, is you just have to build those core values. You have to have a mission that you align your entire team to constantly. It's not just something you can talk about once. You got to talk about it every single day, every single interaction that, it makes sense to talk about those things. And once you really start to evangelize that and make that your kind of North Star, I think the submissions and getting awards and kind of becoming known in the industry just will start hopefully coming to you through that, because your customers are going to start recognizing it and your team is going to feel it. And so, yeah, I guess that would just be my recommendation, is really focus on core values and let those shine through in everything that you're doing. And if you're to submit to something like the Stevies in the future, make sure that that's at the heart of what you're submitting.
What are some of the mistakes that you see companies make when it comes to dealing with customers, feedback as a word? It could be just, what you have seen in the industry, or you may have seen yourself as a user, as a customer, and where you're like, hey, they should improve these processes, or where you feel that these are the things that, while their intentions are good, they end up making these mistakes that they should not do.
From a support perspective, I think it's being human. I see that mistake a lot. Is I know that right now, in the age of technology, where things like AI and chatbots and all of that, it's right at our fingertips, and it's really easy to use, and you can use it in the right way, and have it unlock a lot of things for your team and your company. But I would still say, remember that when customers need support or they need something from your product or service, they like the human aspect to it. When something is wrong, they want to hear from you directly. They want something that is transparent. So I would just say, like, the mistake that I often see is sometimes relying too much on trying to automate and just kind of like get through the volume, when the thing that might mean more to customers, maybe not as fast of a response that AI might give or a chatbot might give, but like really stellar response that might take a little bit longer to get together, that comes from a human, and that they know kind of comes from a human.
Since you have thrown the AI wrench there in the discussion, I do want to also talk about the positive aspect of AI, especially Gen AI, LLMs here. Because if you look at companies like Akamai, the kind of customer base you folks have, from Linode days, it's like a lot of individual, small developers who just wanted to set up, you folks democratized cloud so they can get out. And then you also have mega corporations. So the breadth of expertise also is different. You folks offer GPUs, you offer Kubernetes, ton of services. So your teams should also know about those technologies. but keeping up can become challenging as well. So how do you also ensure that the teams are knowledgeable, and how you companies can leverage AI, Gen AI, while they maintain that human aspect when they're interacting with human, but they also have enough data and information to actually address the queries or concerns that customers are coming up with?
It's a great question, great point. I think that when I think about AI with my own team, I do see a ton of potential in ways that we could benefit from it and implement it into the strategy that we have, not only for customers, but internally as well. How can we get answers more quickly when a support person is stuck on an issue? They're not exactly sure where to go with it. I do think that it is something that should be very thoughtfully added. It's not something that I think you just want to implement for the sake of getting volume more quickly handled. As far as I would say for us, we see it more as a potential for training and helping our team, put in a potential issue that a customer might be experiencing, or when they're getting onboarded or going through training after getting hired, kind of running through certain simulations and seeing like, okay, well, if I was in this situation, how would I, potentially be able to solve that? And I think that that's something for us that we want to explore more, and certainly whatever way the industry goes in terms of AI, I think at some point you have to adopt and provide what customers need, which is fast response, right? But for us at Akamai, we want to do it really thoughtfully, and I think that that's mirrored throughout the entire organization.
Talk about once again internal processes in terms of this award, where you feel that this award can be just a validation, but internally, what processes you have in place where you yourself feel proud of those approaches at Akamai?
So I think this award in particular for our trust and safety team, when I started back in 2016, this team was, I think, only 3 or 4 people, and now that team is close to 20. And I think that as our company has grown, as we got acquired by Akamai, and kind of the customer base has grown and changed with us through that transition, we've seen a lot of changes in terms of abuse coming onto the platform. And this team in particular has had to react in many different ways. And I think they've built a lot of infrastructure, tooling, process, and policy that has really enabled not only the support team who is trying to kind of get their hands around abuse and making sure that we keep the platform safe from bad actors, but really has enabled the company at large to kind of continue their focus on security and kind of what customers have come to expect on that end. And so for us internally, I think this is just really validation of all that work and the growth that we've experienced over the past 5 to 10 years. So winning this was just kind of, we had a really great 2 years kind of running a lot and implementing a lot, and kind of showed. So we're glad that the judges saw that.
Cassie, thank you so much for taking time out today to talk about these awards, and more importantly, the great insight that you share about the internal process at Akamai. Thanks for those, and I look forward to talk to you again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can't wait.